Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to Engineering Adda. So in this video, we are going to discuss what is Angular services and couple of questions around the Angular services like why we are using Angular services, how we can use it, how we can register Angular services globally so that we can use anywhere we want. What is @injectable? So everything we'll discuss here in this video. So let me go to the next slide. So what is it? What is Angular services? So it is nothing but it's a kind of Angular class which is having a annotation called @injectable, and it can be registered globally, and wherever we want we can inject this service and we can use its attributes. So that is what the Angular service is. Now let me go to the next slide. Let me explain you one scenario. Let's say we have one component. Let's say its name is component 1, and we have written some of the business logic there, and this component 1 is using some database connectivity. So for that also we put some code in the component 1. Okay, similarly, let's say we have the component 2. We have written some business logic in the component 2 as well, and it is also using the same database. So the connectivity code is replicated here in the database in the component 2. So the connectivity code for the component 1 and the component 2 is same, and we are using it two times. Okay, so the idea is, why don't we put the common code in a service, in a class where we can use it commonly? So that is why we are going to develop the Angular service, which is globally visible, and we put the common code inside that service. So we develop one service where we put all the common logic. Either it can be database connectivity or any common logic. So it also save our effort and time. So let's say in the future, if we are going to develop some new component, then directly that component can use the common logic from the service. Okay, so let me go to the next slide. Let me show you how you can create the Angular service. So there is a command called ng generate service and service name, and there is a short command also nggs and the service name. So using this command we can generate our service. Okay, now let me go to the next slide. Okay, so let me try to come out of this PPT. So I have opened the Visual Studio Code, and in the earlier videos I showed you how you can use ng-for and ng-if, and there we have created one component called user. Okay, and inside the user component.ts we have created this user list, and inside the constructor we are just creating these three object of the user and assigning the values. Okay, and here we have created the user entity class. Okay, coming to the HTML, we have written the code for a table, and with the help of ng-for we are iterating the list and getting out each object and then just simply printing it out. Okay, so now let me try to run this application to show you how it is looking. Okay, so yeah, it will take few seconds. Let it build and run, then we'll discuss the next things. Okay, yeah, it is started building. Yeah, it is up now. So you can see we have created this table and we are fetching the data. Okay, so let me go to the studio. So let's say uh, I'm going to create a service called user service. Okay, and we have couple of components like my component, product, and user. Okay, so now let me try to stop this application and then generate our service. So press Ctrl C, and how we can generate the service? So we have the command ng generate service and service name. So the service name is user. Okay, yeah, wait for a few seconds, it will generate our service. So you can see it has generated our service and it has created these two files, user service spec.ts and user service.ts. Okay, so you can see these files are globally visible. It is not inside any of the component. So this is the advantage of using the service. It is globally registered and we can call it inside any of the component. So that is why it is recommended to keep the common code inside the service so that it can be injected in any of the component when it is used. So let me go to the user service, and here what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create one method, and with the help of the user service we'll try to inject it in the component. So if you want to inject this method in all of the components or in more than 3 4 components, whatever component you have created, you can do that. But here in this example I'm just going to inject the user service inside the user component. So first of all, let me try to create one method here, get users. Okay, and that method will simply return the list of user. So let me go to the user component.ts. Here we have the list of users. So let me try to copy this. Okay, or cut it from here, because we are going to inject the user service in this class, and we'll try to call the method inside the user service. So that is why I just cut it from there. Now let me try to paste it here, and then simply return this. Okay, so it is get users method is returning the list of users. Okay, save this file. Now coming to the user component.ts, let me remove this piece of code. Let me add this. Now here what we'll do, we'll try to inject our user service. So let me go to the user service. Here you can see this service class has one annotation called injectable. Okay, so that is why the user service is injectable in any of the components. So let me copy this name and go to the user component. Here let me try to inject it. So let me create one variable called service and user service. Okay, let me try to import this. Okay, so here you can see we have imported the user service class. Okay, now let me try to call the get users method. So just press tab. I'm using tab 9, so that is why it is recommending the codes. If you don't know how you can use tab 9, you can watch the video on my YouTube channel. You can get it from there. Okay, so we are good now. Let me try to save this. So what we did, we created the user service. We created one method which is returning the list of users, and then we have injected this user service inside the user component, and then we are directly calling that method. Okay, now just save this, and then let me try to go to the app module.ts. We have to register our user service here inside the app module.ts file. Okay, so inside the provider we need to register it. So the name of user service class is user service. Let me copy this, go to the app module.ts, paste it here, and then let me import this and just save it. Okay, so we are good now. Let me try to remove this and just save it. So everything is good. Now let me try to run this application. So it is ng serve open. Okay, so it will take few seconds. Just wait for that. Yeah, so you can see we are able to see the records here. So let me try to summarize the whole video. So what we did, we have created one user service and we have created the method called get users and it is returning the list of users. Now coming to the component, in the user component.ts, we injected this service and with the help of this instance, we are calling the methods. And we have registered our user service globally. How we have registered it? We went to the app module.ts and inside the provider, we just provide the user service name and then import it. So it is very simple to implement the Angular services. So this is about this video, guys. If you like the video, please hit the like button and please subscribe the channel for more such content. Thanks.